back corner when I'm not presenting.
Listening in.
And listen in.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bass University Live here on Tuesday night.
Take a quick break. Watch John Cruise's on the Tokyo rig.
Be a part of the show. Get some chances to win some awesome prizes.
This Bass you go. You know, we didn't have that back then. And dude, it could just...
That text thread gives me so much energy. I mean, like I'm dialed. Run through.
Action.
Take two.
And we're live.
And we're live. Welcome back to Bass University
Hey, Pete.
Live. Take two.
Were you doing an intro that whole time?
You
Yeah, he
pointed
was.
at me
Oh, yeah.
6 times.
I was
thought,
pointing at Rich where the stream was up. Hey, folks, we've only been doing this for how many years? Okay.
That's great.
Hey, live
That's-
content, man. That's what happens. When you press the live button, it's live.
You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Sometimes the camera falls. Sometimes the stream drops.
And
It's better
sometimes
that way.
take two is better than take one. And well, we are live. It's Tuesday night. Good to have you guys with us. It's been super busy at Bass University. We were filming some great new content with Ike this week called Take It to the Bank. This is going to be a great piece of content. I think you guys are really going to like it. We had a lot of fun filming it, and we had a lot of take twos today, just so you know. But we are tonight having Keith Carson on the show, fresh off of his NPFL win, his dominant win at Lake Wright Pittman. It's written down because I have never fished that lake. I'm looking forward to learning more about that lake. It's got big ones. It's in Texas. And man, Keith crushed him out there, and he did it with very, very unique style. And he's connected to us through John Cox. We're good friends with John. Him and John are buddies, fishing partners. There's a lot of stories there. I'm looking forward to finding out more from Keith. And who knows, we may have a special surprise guest tonight. We will see. But that's what's happening tonight. We've got a great show. It's good to see all of our boys in-house. We've got JK. Good to have you, buddy.
Hey, man. Great to be in here.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday night again at Kimmel's. Life's good. We are looking forward to talking to Keith, getting to our lists. Got a lot of fun stuff to get to tonight.
Did we have crappie tacos, snakehead tacos? What kind of tacos we rocking tonight?
Venison tonight.
Venison tacos.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's a bonus.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm not a big hunter, but I'd like to. Usually, my brother gets me one.
More
Every
of a
now and then,
gatherer?
I'll show up and. Yeah, I'm more of a grocery store type guy. If I have a free moment, I'd rather be on the water chasing green ones. But
That's the
but
way
yeah, I like having the ground meat. I just get it ground, and all year we eat tacos, maybe a little spaghetti sauce every now and then
Sounds like a good year.
with the ground meat.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
The
And
year
it
of the
lasts.
taco.
I can make a deer last a year, typically, almost a year.
That's awesome.
So
I prefer to do my gathering at the supermarket as well. But yeah, but we were filming locally, courtesy of you two guys helping us pick a lake to go and do some fishing today. And it man, oh man, did it work out. It's so fast around here. Our spawn season in this part of the country, it's like you blink your eyes and it's gone. And it wasn't happening, and you blinked your eyes, and today it was happening, going crazy. They were all over spawning everywhere. It was pretty cool. I know, Riz, you and I were texting. We don't know if it's going to be a jinx or a bonus when you catch a fish on the first cast, but that's exactly what Mike did on the first cast, and it worked out today.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's glad to hear that that you guys had a great day out there, because fishing from the bank content, that's been a popular request amongst our guys here over the last year or so. So it's awesome that we're going to be able to give them some of that with no one better than Ike to be teaching that, a guy that grew up roaming the banks, and that's where he cut his teeth to learn.
Chapter
So-
1, trespass as much as possible. As much as you can get away with.
Unless it's at Ike's house.
No trespassing there.
It's not
Lake
illegal until you
X.
get shot in the butt.
He was telling a story, BTC, about I guess his mom took you and him down to this lake that we fished today when you guys were kids.
I mean, all of our single moms did that for us.
Yeah.
For our little
Right.
crew. Yeah. Yeah, one would typically drive and drop us off, and another would pick us up about 6-7 hours later. No cell phones,
Right.
nothing.
Awesome.
It's pretty
That is
wild,
a
man. It was a different time.
Beautiful thing of what the past used to be. Get dropped off, get picked up when you get picked up.
Yeah, and hopefully you're there and
Wait to hear the horn beep, and that's when it's time to go back to where the
dude.
drop off
Oh,
was.
Mike's mom.
That's right.
Mike's mom had that voice, man. I wish she was here, but we would be at the other end of the lake, and she'd come out, get out of her car, and it was like he would grab his chest in pain. It was the worst sound in the world. Getting called, your mom's there, and you have to leave. It's just, Michael, he's like, no. All right, last cast for another 20 minutes.
I can imagine. We had last cast today that went on for about 45, 50 minutes. Nothing has changed,
Yeah.
We had to wrap up, but we had it was really cool. Right where we launched, there was a bed just like right there, and it was so awesome because when I launched my boat there, because we were filming on the bank, but from the boat, and I was trying to beach my boat so I could go park the trailer, and this 2-pound bass starts blowing his cheeks at me, starts turning sideways on me, just not even having, doesn't want that bass cat anywhere near him.
It's
and
been
he
a
was
minute
just
since
like,
somebody been flirting on you, huh?
what wasn't happening, man. He was just he didn't want, he was dominant,
Were you wearing shorts?
I'm like, was he wearing shorts? No.
You.
Oh, you think he was flirting with me? You think he was trying to recruit me to the bed?
Trying to bed you down, Peter.
Yeah. No, I thought he was flexing
Oh,
his
we're
muscle
going
and trying to
south.
chase me out of the area. But
I have
we
a
went
vision of a
back
bass
at the
with
end
your
of the
face
day.
on it, Pete.
We went back at the end of the day. Mike got a first cast right off that. So you knew that was the one that was going to go first. But look for that coming. It's called Take It to the Bank. That's going to be released very soon on Bass University TV, all you bank anglers. And Mike was masterful about it, using camouflage, using the terrain to hide, to stalk, and teach all that stuff. It was pretty good stuff.
Cool.
That's awesome. Hey, Pete, was that the same fish that you put the aqua view on today?
It was. I dropped
Nice.
the aqua view down a couple times today, and it was so much fun. I've got to get a better rigging system so I can get it to view that bed. But I just dropped the camera in the bed and backed the boat off about 20 feet. And here she comes right back in the nest, or he does.
That's wild.
And look, eyeballing the camera, swimming back and forth, and turtles coming by. And that was neat stuff. That lake had, only about a 2 foot of visibility, maybe. It's pretty clear water, maybe 3 feet, but easily be able to count the scales on the bass.
Wow, yeah.
With the aqua view. So that's a lot of fun. We're all having a lot of fun with that system. And
I wanted to say I fished with a guy last week, and my volume's low, and I forget how the topic came up, because the lake we fished on is super deep. It's got like 80 foot of water in it. And it was a man-made lake that they had flooded. His grandfather was a part of the process, so he was telling me about bridges and this and that. And I forget how Aquaview came up, but I said, did you ever have one? He's like, oh yeah, I used to use it all the time. Apparently he left it on the back deck and got up on pad. But So I was curious. I'm like, how did you, how did it work for you? What was, in what ways do you use it? And for him, it was it was more about the practice period, learning the lake, learning the pieces of structure that you keep going back to catch them off of, oh, well, that's guardrail, and the guardrails, because, the lake's got like bridges and guardrail flood up, could be trees, whatever, but just how that structure is set up in the lake and just getting a better visual picture of everything. Says it was super, super valuable for him.
That's neat. And I know Dusty uses it. I'm going to be using it at a lot of lakes this year. And I'm already thinking about how to use it down at the James, because the water clarity down there is very similar to the lake that I was on today. It's got stain to it, not very much clarity, but I'm anxious to look. You know what I really want to look around is the cypress knees on the James. That's such a unique habitat, that we don't have that much around here. But I've fished it a lot, and those knees, man, I mean, the fish will bed on them. They'll relate to them. They go 10 feet, 20 feet off the trunk sometimes. So be checking all that stuff out. I know some of the creeks coming in the James have excellent clarity. So, but check it out, guys. It's the Aqua View, and we love it. And we've got a lot of stuff, as always. We got all kinds of prizes and things going on tonight. Riz, take us through what's happening tonight.
Yeah, guys, it's Big Bass Week on all of the channels right now for Bass U, Ike Live, Mike Iconelli's page, Ike Foundation, all that. So we got some prize packs tonight that are set up to help you guys catch some big ones. They include mag drafts, they include Berkeley Chapo topwater baits, Berkeley Max scent. It's a lot of great stuff going out the door tonight, guys, with Gills Gear hats on both. And the Facebook like and share tonight is a $50 prize pack of big bass baits. And our Bass University grand prize is $100 worth of grand prize baits, or worth of big bass baits, including a fresh Gills Gear hat and some Bass U gear to boot. And guys, if you haven't checked out yet the Gills Gear contest, now is a great time to do it. Head over to gillsgear.com. The Bass University contest will open up as soon as you open their website. And guys, what the deal is you're going to get 1 year subscription to Bass University. If you're already a subscriber, it just adds on to your existing subscription. And you're going to get $250 worth of Gills Gear products in form of a gift card, which you can spend on whatever you want. And you get a 30-minute meet and greet live with the Bass U crew. You get to come on to a show with us, chop it up, talk some bass, and it's really, really a good deal. And as always, all night, we're going to be looking for your questions on the message board related to what we're talking about tonight. So feel free to chime in. We'll work those questions in and pump out the bass fishing info for you.
Yeah, they just go to gillsgear.com and sign up. Doesn't cost nothing.
Yeah, for free.
For free.
Free. And I also want to, let you guys know about Empire Covers. If you've got something that sits outdoors, a boat, SUV, a camper, a quad, whatever it is, they make a cover that's going to cover that piece of equipment, keep it tight, keep it nice. And Riz, do you have the link? I'm looking for the link to get 15% off. I don't know if you have that link and code handy.
Yeah, I can certainly ascertain that, Pete. The Empire covers are the real deal. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to check them out yet. I have. These are really, really good covers that are at a price point that it's not going to break the bank for you to get your hands on one of these guys. So definitely check out Empire Covers and use the code BASSU21 and you get 15% off your Empire cover purchase. And that's a nice chunk of change there when you're buying a cover. So check them out. Empire Covers. They're affordable. They're form fitting. They hold up well to the elements. Definitely give those guys a look.
Outstanding. Guys, we still have a 50-50 promotion going on at Bass U right now. 50 days free, $50 off. That's happening. Get yourself subscribed right now. Stop what you're doing. We're going to take a quick break. Go get subscribed. Come back. We're going to be talking about Texas fishing, pre-spawn, post-spawn, all phases of the spawn, how Keith dominated the NPFL. And you can ask questions to us. We use your question. We're going to hook you up with some cool stuff. So go get yourself signed up. We're going to be right back with Bass U Live. Why do you love casting fishing rods?
I'm truly losing less fish.
Is the sensitivity of the rod.
That they're made right here in North Carolina in the USA.
Strongest, lightest rod, 100% made here in Sanford, North Carolina.
From the drop shot rod to the flipping stick. Every rod has a purpose to it, and I rely on them all the time when I'm out there in a tournament.
Durability in the John Cruz Worming series, the counterbalancing in the handle.
It's the only rod I found that can withstand my hook set. Boom goes the dynamite.
We're different. Some would say obsessed. There's no place on earth we'd rather be than right here, right now. Performance-driven gear, so you can fish longer, harder. Gill's Performance Fishing.
2021 Red Crest champion Dustin Connell here, and if you watch live coverage, we just got done at Lake Eufaula. I caught my fish using the active target with Lowrance. What you didn't see is I run a Sea Clear power harness in my boat. One of the main advantages to running this harness is it does not drain my batteries down at all running my 4 units. And what that's going to allow me to do is I'm able to see my bait at 8 a.m. just as good late in the day. Y'all check them out at seaclearpower.com.
You take pride in your boat, so it deserves the best protection possible. Our durable woven fabric prevents ripping and provides UV protection, and our tape seams provide protection against the elements. The heavy-duty shock cord hem and strap and buckle system provide a tight and secure fit. Our top-of-the-line boat covers come with a ventilation system to keep your boat free from mold buildup. Empire Covers, protecting what you love.
Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah, we have lights. We have utility lights and stuff too.
And action.
We can add more light if you want.
All right, we're working on lighting issues, everybody.
We got plenty.
And it's good. It's good to have you back. We we're at Bass U Live tonight, and as always, we've got someone with us tonight that is one big and is going to teach us something, and we're really excited to have him. It's Keith Carson. He's won a Bass Open, now punched his ticket to the Classic, and he's fresh off a monster win at the NPFL. And I see you there. You're there with Landon Tucker. It's awesome to have you guys with us tonight.
Man, thanks so much for having us. I'm so excited. I can't believe I'm on Bass University. This is like as big as going to the Classic.
Yes.
I love it.
Riz, get that timestamp. We're going to put that out on our social.
The
quote of the night.
Keith, can you sit on Landon's lap just a little bit closer to the a little closer to the camera.
Hey, where are you guys? What are you guys up to right now? You in a derby?
Yeah, we're at Seminole for a Toyota series this week. We're actually in my camper that stays here. So yeah.
Man, you've got good Wi-Fi at your camper, man.
I got a hot spot, so yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I'm shocked that it actually works. Me too. But
don't knock on wood. Don't speak too soon. We don't know what's going to happen next.
That's
glad
that's a trailer. There ain't no wood in there.
Yeah, what's it made out of? You know.
Press board. What is that stuff? Well, we're glad you guys are with us, and man, what a great deal! What an amazing win! I've got a ton of questions for you, but I'd like to go back really to your Open win. You're just crazy. It's just been a year of insanity for you. I would see him making the Classic, following it up with this win. Man, what a year it's been so far.
I can't believe it. It's like, it's like everything's just falling into place, and it all started with Cox, John Cox. He called it, and you guys probably heard the story, but I was a UPS driver, and he called me and he's like, dude, you have way too much knowledge about fishing to be a freaking UPS driver. I'm not sure if that's the word he used, but he's like, it's killing me to watch you do that. He's like, just quit. And I was like, all right. So I went back and I quit that. I was like, I'm done. Before I could even think about it, I was like, I'm done. Let's just do it. And man, so I owe lots of credit to him for just for believing in it. Just to have that support. Fishing's one of those things where it's a solo sport. We're out on the boat by ourselves all day, and we don't have most of us don't have a strong support system. And it's just to have somebody in your corner, means the world to me. And so hey, so I jumped in the opens, and who would have known? Won a damn open my first year, and almost won two. I almost won Toho. Brian New won that one, but I lost like 2-7. So, hey, that happens. But hey, I just can't believe it. It's amazing.
What is your you and John? I'm aware you guys are team tournament partners. Like, how did you guys connect? Are you lifelong friends, or how did that get started?
Yeah, so John and I, we grew up in DeBerry, Florida, and we both have very similar backgrounds. We grew up 2 streets apart from each other. And no one in John's family fishes, and no one in my family fishes. My grandfather was a fisherman, avid angler, but he passed away when I was 5. So the only tip I ever learned from him was to hold your line and feel the bite, and which I still do to this day. But John and I, so no one in our families fished. And at the end of our road in DeBerry, Florida, we had a spring called Gemini Springs, and I would ride my bike down there, and neither of us knew how to catch. And John would ride his bike down there, and neither of us knew how to catch any of the bass, but you could see them. It was crystal clear. I mean, there's just giants, 9s, 10s, 12s, all swimming around, and they come and they go. And that was really where our love for sight fishing began as little kids, 12 and 13-year-olds, just going down there every day. And I want to say, we went down there for months and months and never caught anything, but just seeing them kept us coming back. And in looking back now, I think about often, had that not happened, had we grown up near a pond that was maybe dirty water where we didn't catch anything, we may not have ever gotten into fishing the way that we had, and the way and how we catch them as well, visually sight fishing for bass. So,
right. So being able to see them as a youngster really kept you engaged. That's
exactly.
That's a really cool concept, because I know, I've seen so many youngsters that get, they can't see it. They can't, maybe they have that video game mentality, and it's hard. You see them struggle to get interested in it, but boy, being able to see them really makes it fun. I know we use AquaView, and I use that, and it's the kids love to sit and monitor that, probably for the same reason you and John watch those fish swim by. It's really cool to be able to see what's down there.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. I want to get an AquaView really bad. It's like I have the forward-facing sonar, and there's just so much out there, and they all follow my bait and don't eat it. And I'm like, I want to see them, I want to see what they are. So, yeah, that's pretty cool that you have that.
Yeah, it is awesome. So you and John, man, you guys been buddies forever. And now you and Landon are traveling together. Have you guys been traveling together long, or you guys been friends a long time?
We met for the first time the day before practice at Eufaula. A guy who was going to fish the NPFL, Billy Matthews. He had some health conditions, had to drop out of the league. But Billy introduced us, and we were like, we actually went to little story. We went to the store the night we met, and we were looking for groceries. We were like, okay, we need sandwich stuff. And sandwich stuff. And me and him were both so freaking scatterbrained that we forgot like half the stuff. And then on, I was like, okay, me and Keith are both scatterbrained and we love to fish. So I mean, we probably work pretty well together, and we, it's turned out pretty good for both of us this year so far.
That's great. The NPFL seems to be that way all around. It seems like everybody is having a good time, and the guys are really treating each other with respect, and everybody's getting along over there. That's what it looks like on the outside. Is that what it's like?
It is, dude. Somebody said after you follow, this is like the first big tournament they fished that there was no drama. I mean, dude, everybody's getting along. We're all just, hey, good for you. You're doing well. That's awesome. We're not really at each other's throats and trying to cut each other off and stuff like that. But I mean, right? Help doing that.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the honeymoon will be over soon enough.
Yeah. Give it a few more derbs.
Yeah.
But I got to butt in here. Sorry, Keith. You talked about sight fishing. It made me think. John Cox, obviously one of the best sight fishermen in the world, and you probably have that as a strength too. But you won Lay Lake on a Fritz side.
Right.
Then you go win this one, flipping, and I think maybe a chatterbait or something. You made a change. What is your strength, Keith?
So my strength is I have 5 strengths, and
it's like a kung fu movie. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So my strength. So I'd like to say my main strength is sight fishing. Although I've never won a multi-day tournament sight fishing. I can go out and I can bust a big bag. I've caught a lot of 30-plus pound bags, lots in upper 20s. Regularly. That's a yearly thing for me, sight fishing. But that's a one-day thing. For these multi-day tournaments, that's not my strength. My strength is I'm good at shallow cranking. I'm really good at chatterbaiting. I'm very good at flipping. And then wacky rig Cinco, and then number 5 is sight fishing. And and those are the things that I do around the entire nation.
5-tool player.
I was about to say, Riz, 5-tool player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highly recruited.
Yeah. And it's like having those, so it's like I got a little bit of David Fritz, he's the best cranker. I got a little bit of that, a little bit of sight fishing, a little bit of Brian Thrift with the chatterbait. So I just take a little piece of in my mind, the best anglers in the world and try to dial that all in, perfect all of those techniques to the best of my abilities. I pick them apart. I look at all the weaknesses of each bait and presentation and stuff and just pick it apart, and try to make it as strong as I possibly can. Fortunate to have John Cox to bounce ideas off of. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly changing as anglers. Nothing ever stays the same. And this year in 2020 and 21, I've realized that the only constant is change. And that's the truth. I mean, if you're not evolving regularly, you're going to get left behind. And, and that's like the definition of staying ahead.
To me, and Paul Benson from Cash and from NPFL and Cash and Rod says that he calls you the professor, and I can hear it in your explanation there. I mean, it's awesome. You've identified 5 strengths. Most guys are lucky to have 1 or 2 and out there competing at the top level. And that's great. You seem like so different from John Cox. He seems so like he always, when we interview him, talk to me, keep it simple, throw a swim jig, throw a Senko, move on to the next tree,
Yeah.
And you really seem more complex. I mean, maybe that's why you guys mesh so well together.
I think it is. John and I are identical in many, many ways, growing up together. In many ways we're the same, but many ways we're different. And I think that is a strength. I think it's a strength to have someone to go against your ideas. There's a lot of times John and I don't agree with each other, and we talk about it. Instead of disagreeing and saying, I don't want to hurt that guy's feelings, I say, hey man, I don't know if this is a good idea that you're doing this. And it keeps that person accountable. It's really important, I think, in my opinion, to disagree with people at times, and not to hurt their feelings, but just to for accountability and making sure that they're at the top of their game. I think that's
sure. Yeah, to challenge them, and like you, it's interesting, and I'm going to go back to what you were talking about, JK. But both of these guys, were you like John? I don't own any crankbaits. I pick up the Fritz side and go out and win a tournament like him. Or
yeah, actually, here's the full story to that. So
come on.
All right, so I had tried getting some Fritz sides, and we haven't been able to get much through 2020 and continuing to this year, manufacturing and all that because of COVID. So going into Lay Lake, John knew I had been trying to get some. It was the end of the year for him. Lay Lake was rescheduled. It was moved to December. So John said, "Hey," he said, "come over. I got 3 Fritz sides you can borrow. They're all Ghost Morning Dawn." He said, "I got like one Lone Ranger color and like one dad." And so I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, and I'm like, "Do I really need them? I've been trying to get them all year." He's like, "Yeah, dude, I think you should try it. I want the same Raver on. Just try it." All right. So throughout practice, the weather was warm. It was good weather, and I was actually I was killing them on swim jig. Like I thought I could blow the doors off this tournament on swim jig. It was unreal, and big spots upriver, big largemouth. And then 2 days before the tournament, we had a terrible cold front came through. It was snow, sleet, ice. So my whole boat was full of ice. The water temperature went down to 47 degrees. And so I picked up that Fritz side. And one of the first banks I went down, I caught a 5. And I was like, oh, damn, maybe this thing works. So then next day of practice, I started throwing it. It was pretty good. So I knew right away, no more swim jig. Because, when I throw the swim jig, I throw it wide open. Half the jig's out of the water when I throw it. And like John and I, our rule of thumb is if you're not in physical pain when you're throwing the swim jig, then you're not throwing it right.
Yeah.
And you can't do that when the water's 47 degrees. So yeah, put that Fritz side to work, and man, it revealed itself to me throughout the tournament. I learned how to use it in the middle of the tournament, damn thing works. The damn thing works. Yeah.
That's amazing. We saw John do it. I couldn't believe it, and because he was he out loud would say he doesn't crank, doesn't even own a crankbait, and he goes out and wins it. By the way, both John Cox Fritz side seminar and his swim jig seminar are available at Bass U TV, so you guys can go see exactly what we're talking about here. But
good deal.
There's something else though. I'm sorry, Pete. There's something else though, like the Lay Lake thing, Keith. You didn't just start throwing a Fritz side. There's something there with the current and the grass that you were catching them in. What changed there? I know something like that happened, and you kind of just said, "Oh well, my Florida roots helped me know what to do with cranking that situation." But I want to know more about that situation and what you did.
Okay, so as I said, I was getting bit on swim jig pretty well. Water temperature dropped, so switched to the Fritz side. I threw that everywhere I was throwing the swim jig, just same areas, just switched to crankbait on the edges of the grass. But the main key for me was, so my plan was actually to run to the dam. I thought I could catch 13 to 15 a day at the dam, but that was also everyone else's plan. So I was going to start down by the power plant, which isn't far from takeoff from Beeswax there, and work my way up. And I started down there, and I made it like 2 turns, and I had like 15 pounds. And I was like, dang. And so first off, let me tell you this. So I start my day off, and I wasn't quite comfortable with the Fritz side yet. I was chatterbait, and I lost a 5 on chatterbait. And I was like, damn, that was a good one. And I didn't change immediately, which is a huge mistake. If something tells you in your gut, like, don't do this, then as an angler, you should stop immediately. But we all struggle with that because we think about other things. Oh, maybe he didn't eat it right. Maybe this, maybe that. So anyways, I lose a 5-pounder on chatterbait. 10 minutes later, I lose a 3.5. And I'm like, that's it. I'm done. Crankbait. Pick up the crankbait, catch 15 pounds. And like, you know, I didn't even make it one turn.
Wow.
And so I was like, well, shoot, I'm not going anywhere. You know, so I fished that stretch. And then I called a couple times. I think I had 16, you know, almost 17 day one. But throughout the tournament, the lake revealed itself to me in a way that I hadn't expected. And what happened was every day that current shut off around, I want to say 10 or 11. I'm not exactly sure. It's been 5 months now. But I think it shut off around 10 or 11. And me being 10 miles downriver, I continued to get current until like 1 o'clock.
Residual.
And those guys, it shuts off immediately. When it shuts off, it's done, and the water drops about 3 feet right away at the dam. And so, yeah, I had this residual current. So the fish were still positioning in a way that I could catch them. They were all facing up current. I could just visually pick out, like, oh, here's a little point of grass. I'll get a bite here. Here's a little,
wow.
Get a bite here. You know, here's a lay down. And just flying through stuff, fishing quickly. Trolling motor on high, picking out all the high percentage areas, and that was actually the key to winning, along with the grit side. You know, was having that residual current.
It's awesome,
and moving fast too. Well, a culture of winning is key. You know, we were a culture of excellence, and you and John seem to share that, man. It like you're coming out. You know, I mean, you're coming out firing. John has blazed the trail. He wins at an alarming rate. In professional tournaments. What have you? You know, how are you guys accomplishing that? What would you say is the keys to success for you two guys to be able to get into the winner's circle so much?
Man, this is something that's a great question. I think about this often. There's so many things that are unexplainable with fishing, and this is partially one of them, and John and I, the main thing that we have that correlates with each other is we always go against the grain. We always do the opposite of what the majority of the fishing world is doing. Always, 100% of the time. Starting way back when we were kids, okay? So if we go way back, John and I, we fished team tournaments out of a little John boat. We started in a 12-foot 1969 Sears, and that didn't last long because it was so small. We graduated to a 14-foot fiberglass with a 15-horsepower Johnson, and we fished team tournaments out of that with a small trolling motor. We fished out of that for maybe till we were 18 or 19. So we're not talking 15, 16. We did this for years. When most kids had and people had bass boats, and we were winning out of this, and then graduated to the small Crestliner, and sure enough, I let John borrow my BT 17 Crestliner with a 50-horse Mercury. He took it to the Red River and just blew the competition away in a professional FLW Tour tournament, and it shook up the fishing world so much that they immediately made rules. You must have a minimum 18-foot boat, must have a minimum 150. This blah, blah, blah. And it's like, hang on, we're doing something different, So, fast forward even to now, we're going, a lot of the world is going offshore, forward facing sonar. Everybody's getting out there. And John and I are just like, everybody go, we're going to stay up here and you guys, run your forward facing sonar. We're going to not use any sonar at all because we think it scares the fish, and that's the honest truth. We're just, but I think a big part of winning is having confidence in what you're doing, and as small as it may be with us going shallow and doing the opposite of everyone else, it gives us confidence. We know, hey, they're all out there, we're in here, we got the bank to ourselves. Let's just lay into them and catch as many as we possibly can and have as much fun as we can doing it. And that's really, it's really all we do.
Wow, that's really cool. And I know Brian Thrift is another Bass University instructor that wins crazy amount of tournaments, and he has the same strategy. Like he reads about what is winning tournaments down at a particular place right now. and he goes in the opposite direction
Right.
of what those patterns are. And sounds like that's what you two guys are doing too. And it's pretty awesome. I want to dive into the NPFL win that you just have. But before I do that, I know we've got some IMs building up, Rich, and I'm anxious to see what questions they have for these guys. So what do you got for us?
All right, so the first one's going to come from Coach Prince, and for this question, he's going to get himself a $25 Gills Gear gift card. And his question is, actually, I'll quote his comment. Dude, I got to know more detail about that swim jig technique. Why is your whole body sore?
Great question, Coach.
All right, so here, check this out. I got a little rod here. So this is the exact swim jig that I throw, that Cox throws. This is a half-pound sturdy jig. So currently, the one I'm using right now is crappie color. There's only 3 colors you need in the whole nation at any time of the year, and that's it. This is a part of the simplifying. You need white, you need a watermelon seed, and a black and blue, or watermelon candy and black and blue, and that's it. And the reason why it puts you in so much pain is because this chunk right here, this Berkeley meaty chunk, it doesn't have a lot of action unless you make it have action. So if you throw it out and you just reel it, you probably get a bite or maybe catch a couple. I don't know. I don't do it, so I'm not sure. But but if you throw it out and you stroke it really hard, and I mean hard, like pop it, like pop, 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 slacken the line to you get some slack in the line and pop it, it's gonna have so much action that the fish cannot resist it. And another big factor of what gets the big bites is making your line actually pop on the water. It makes this sound, and it makes the jig look as if it's chasing a little minnow where your line is popping the surface of the water. So you're creating school. It's like a schooling effect, and it draws those giants up. They can't resist it. I've been throwing it here at Seminole with little to no luck because the water's so dirty. But that's the whole deal to it. It really is.
Keith Carson, everyone, give him the juice out for free.
Man, that is some really good stuff. And what about speed? Like, are you burning it? Like I know John talks about keeping that jig high up in the water column, like seeing all the strikes. Are you really moving that fast?
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, lots of rod movements, constantly moving that rod left to right, moving it around structure. It's never slow, never one direction. I'm moving this bait as much as possible. Every time I make a cast with a swim jig, I visualize a bass chasing. And of course, in reality, that's not real. But I visualize he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it. This cast, and this is what I'm saying in my head over and over and over, and then it happens. And I think that having that mindset of thinking that every cast is going to produce a giant actually prepares me for when the giants bite. And
what's the max depth?
Wide open. What's that?
What is the max depth that you're throwing this thing in? Like, are you always shallow or?
Maximum's 3 feet, maximum, but more like 1 to 2, or less than 1. Even. Yeah. So it's
a shallow deal.
Oh yeah. Oh, very shallow. Yeah.
So would we be surprised to see John Cox doing it in marina docks over 170 foot of water when he's on camera tomorrow?
Yeah, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if he's doing that. So if
I saw Andy Montgomery doing it, but it made me think. I wonder if Cox is doing this.
I highly doubt it. If he is, then that's just a very specific application where those fish must just be right under the dock, and stuff. But
yeah, cool.
Keith, are you throwing the half ounce almost all the time as well?
100% of the time.
Yeah. 100% of the time.
100% of the time, I throw a half ounce. Also with the chatterbait, I throw a half ounce almost 100%.
Right.
I just go half on everything. It's just to have the extra weight. I can speed it up, and I can bring it up in the water column or let it go as deep as I want it to. And to have that versatility with the half ounce, to me, is so valuable.
You have fired everybody up here in the studio Keith.
Good
They're all going nuts about all this swim jig talk, and that's super cool. And great question, Coach Prince. And let's see what else is happening on the IM boards, Rich, before we move on.
For sure, Pete. Our people are chiming in as always.
I've got one if you, Rich.
What's that?
Pug Dawson wants to know, or no, was it? No, Alan McCullough. Why does everyone call Landon the Keymaster?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man. Wow.
Pug has his own little podcast called The Square Table. It's probably the most least entertaining thing ever. But so the first day you follow our first NPFL event. Actually, I'll back it up. The day before the first day of our first event, I had to get my electronics work on my boat. And I took it to the dealership, and we had to take the switch panel off to find the Ethernet port that wasn't there. So he took my key out and set it right by where the rod sets play on my Phoenix. And so we put nothing got accomplished with that. Nothing got fixed. And so we put everything, put most of it back together, and I drove off back to the house. Got to the rant out there this morning. Was checking everything. Noticed my keys not in my ignition to my boat. So I panicked. They had a live camera on me and all that, and the camera guy asked me what was wrong. I said, "Not right now, dude. I'm not talking to that camera." And so Brad Fuller, one of the other NPFL owners, he comes over and was like, "Okay, what's wrong? Why are you last to put in and you're like middle of the pack? You got a camera on you."
Do you feel like the principal was coming up to you?
Yeah, no, dude. Brad's one of the coolest guys ever. I will say this real quick, dude. Our ownership group at NPFL is probably one of the hardest working groups of people in the tournament organization.
Cool.
Right now. But Brad was like, "Okay, well, we can't find your keys. You can just take my boat." Because he had his boat there, was going to be a chase boat or something like that. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And so I put some stuff in his boat. He had Garmin's, I had Humminbird, so I didn't have any of my waypoints.
Oh, jeez.
For all 400 something brush piles I have on Eufaula. And so I ran down to the south end where I wanted to fish at and fished around for a little bit. 10:30, Brad calls me. Said, "Hey, dude, we got your keys. Come get them." I was like, on my way. So I ran 20 miles back up north, switched everything out, switched back to my boat, ran all the way back down. The first day I had 3 fish for almost 12 pounds and ended up finishing third after the last day.
Third. That's right. It was a great finish.
I came in third by about 3 pounds, and I was not catching anything under 2 pounds off those piles. But I will say this: that at Texarkana, John Sugan, the guy who won it, he roomed with me and Keith, so we that was really cool, and we actually got to watch the last day live, and to make it not awkward, John was rooting for me and I was rooting for John. So
that's cool. So thus you are the keymaster.
Yes, yeah. Al McCullough, the owner, one of the other owners in NPFL, he's our MC. He dubbed me that.
That's funny.
Dude, now when that's his best, they're all like, "What was the key to your success?"
Having keys was the key to my success.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think he's got 10 duplicates made of that.
Yeah, something like that.
That's so funny. I got to switch tournament trails, man. I've been to tournament trails. They asked me for paperwork and I didn't have it, updated, and I wasn't allowed to go. These guys are giving you boats,
giving you boats,
hooking you up.
Come on,
man.
Pete, let's go.
Let's go.
Get you out there, Pete.
It's a whole different deal with NPFL. They don't check fishing licenses. They don't check. It's a great
That's
thing.
my kind of league right now. You're talking. Hold on.
Yeah.
They're free beer at the wave.
they're like, hey, we're not the government, we're not the police, we don't need to check if you have a fishing license. But if we were to get pulled over by an officer, if you get a ticket for any reason, you're disqualified, like for whatever reason. So you better have your fishing license. You know, you better have.
Yeah, you better.
Yeah.
Did they measure your fish at the NPFL?
Yeah. They see.
Yeah. I was about to say.
I
Start weighing in
absolutely-
some freshwater drums, sneaking those in.
What's that?
I was just saying you might be able to sneak a drum in. You know,
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Yeah.
I got to say, I 1,000% agree with that. They're not the government, you know. You're responsible for your own. No need for them to be playing cops and robbers. Run your event. If you get in trouble, it's on you.
Yeah, which I agree with.
Yeah.
You know, I like the way that they do
I
things.
like it.
It has such a family atmosphere.
Right.
Like we're all looking out for each other and all that. You know, like I said, we're not at each other's throats yet.
Yeah.
So,
well, part of why I think that we're all building a bond faster than at any other tournament trail I've ever fished is because they're requiring us to work together. We have roundtables and podcasts that we do every night at local restaurants and stuff that they're affiliated with in the city. And so when we go do these roundtables and broadcasts, I'm meeting with guys that I have never met before and who I otherwise probably would have never spoken a word to. So, you know, then we talk for an hour and get to know each other. So we're all getting to know each other faster than I've ever gotten to know you at any trail. And I think that's a good thing.
and,
You know?
and we do a lot of community events as well. Like some guys went to a ranch for special needs kids to go ride horses. Some of them went to go talk to high schoolers. I got to talk to a group of high schoolers with a bunch of other guys. So
They let you around high school kids?
Yeah, they do.
I couldn't believe it either. I was like, Landon, they booked you on the wrong one. And he's like, no,
Yeah, that's a suspect call on their part.
yeah, they forgot to do a background check on it too. Oh my God.
How about one of the older, more fatherly type guys? Let them around the kids. Not you. You should be like painting the yellow lines on the curbs or something, you know, like don't hit this curb.
Hey, that's Brian Meade stuff.
All right, so back to
BTC. I think this is the trail for you, buddy.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Paul, we did.
Will they allow them to fish out of the Ike live boat, out of the PFC?
Yeah, come on, bring that Ike live boat.
That's absolutely.
Right at Pass University, Pete, bust that out.
Yeah. We'll do it. We'll send them out. I think there's a few spots to fill for next year, BTC. I've got your name on one of them.
That's right. I'm on the release pattern all year long.
I'll send you Brad's number.
Right around the ramp.
That's a real pattern, by the way.
Brian will never buy a fishing license for any state he's competing in.
He'll probably win every time.
Let me just say,
wait.
Can I say real quick? I tried to buy a license on my way up to go fish a lake in another state. I'm on the website. I'm at the boat ramp. All right, got to get this license real quick. I'm on the website, and all the way through there, I have to have an account. I have to have a whole freaking account to buy a fishing license. Username and password. I'm like, all right, what do? You go with the password that you use for everything else so you might remember it. And they had this list of requirements for this password that was 12 digits, letters, numbers, capitals, and then like one of these symbols. It was like a list of symbols. I'm like, I got so mad. I'm like, there's no way I will ever remember that. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. I'm going to roll the dice. So, it is what it is, man. That's retarded. It's stupid.
The setup process was too much for you.
Yeah.
Wait real quick. Keith snuck a comment in there while we were all busting chops. You said that is a real pattern, by the way. I missed the comment that triggered that comment. What are you talking about? Why'd you say that?
So release fish, the release pattern.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, when we have tournaments, thousands and thousands of fish are caught in a short period of time, and all release. You know, actually talking about this, I always want to know where they release them, and then I never actually see where they let them go.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it matters, because you know the general area. They're probably within. I'd assume it's within a quarter mile of the ramp, probably. but anyways, you know, you can go out there after a tournament, you know, a recent tournament, and a couple days later, every fish you catch has a hook hole in its mouth from the last guy who caught him, and all of the fish are keepers. So
always, they're always keepers.
Yeah, they all measure. Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a good point. We saw that play out at Pickwick recently, where the guys fished right outside the release marina and dominated for a few days. But let's get to Texas.
Okay.
And you know, let's talk about this win a little bit. You know, I was watching, and you were fishing shallow. No surprise there after this conversation.
Right.
And you know, but I was trying to identify what was happening. You know, were you catching pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn fish? What were they doing up in the bushes, and what phase were they in?
So I think that the majority of the fish were in the middle of spawning. Our water temperature was 65 degrees, which is an ideal temperature for spawning. And what happened was, well, let me back up. The week prior to Wright Patman, I was fishing the Ray Scott National Championship on Lake Chickamauga. I like Chickamauga because it reminds me of Cowabunga for some reason. Chickamauga. And one of the last days of practice, our water came up almost a foot, and the fish, it was again perfect spawning temperature. The fish hit the bank. I marked 175 fish on beds in one day. Maybe the biggest wave of fish I have ever seen hit the bank. And I was so excited. I was like, man, I'm going to catch in the 20s without a female. I had that many good males marked. And come tournament, they dropped the water about 8 inches or so. And what happened was all the males stayed on the beds, but all the females pulled off. And I noticed that these females were sitting, none of them were on the bed. All of them were 5 to 10 to 15 feet off of the bed. But every single fish was facing the bed. Every female. And it was like, man, it's like they know that that's where they need to be. They know that they had laid their eggs or want to lay their eggs or whatever it may be. And they know like that is their priority. And in that moment, like I realized, like, man, fish's life revolves around two things. It's eating food and reproducing. And that's it. Like that's their year, you know, and that's the most important factor for bass. And so fast forward to Wright Patman, ideal spawning temperature, 65 degrees, and we had exact same conditions. Our water dropped 3 feet throughout, 3 feet? Yes, throughout like 7 days. And when the water was high, I was flipping right to where so the water was dirty at Wright Patman, for those of you who don't know. Very dirty. You could only see out 6 inches or so. But when the water was high, I was pitching to everywhere I visualized a bed would be. And this is where my sight fishing strength played such a strong role. I wasn't sight fishing, but because I've seen thousands and thousands of beds in my lifetime, I knew exactly where they set up and where they're going to set up. And so I could visualize that in the dirty water. And when the water was high, I was pitching right to where I thought the beds would be. And oh my God, was practice good. Like I thought for sure we would see a few 30-pound bags, lots in the 20s. I thought like 20th place would be over 20 pounds. But when the water dropped, those females pulled out. And right then I knew that it was the same exact scenario that had happened on Chickamauga the week before. So for those of you who watch me live, you'd see me pitch up to the stock where I think the bed was, and then I would do big hops and I would hop it out. And each day I would actually hit between 7 to 10 fish. I'd actually hit them. And only 1 or 2 of them would actually bite. I spooked most of them, but 1 or 2 of them would bite, and they were females. And so that was a huge deal for me. Just knowing that, having that knowledge and popping that 1 ounce around.
Now that's what I wanted to. It drew my attention because rule number 1, when the bass are spawning, you got to put the heavyweights and those power baits away because you've got to get weightless. You've got to get more finessey to get those fish to bite off the beds. Man, oh man, did you fly right in the face of that, man? What were you using, like a 3-pound slip sinker on there?
Yeah. I had it rigged up. I actually got it right here. I had it rigged up on a, can you guys see that? A 1 ounce, 50-pound Berkeley X5, a 3-aught flipping hook, and then the creature bait, black and blue creature bait there, creature hog. And basically, here's the whole reason I went to the 1 ounce. It wasn't because I, knew something other guys did. What happened was throughout practice, actually, I was with you. My primary goal was to flip a 1/2 ounce, flip a 3/8. But what was happening was these Texas bushes, they're nasty, man. Like they are nasty. Like it's a vast organization of roots and branches and twigs and stuff. And I found that when I went with the lighter weight, if I didn't make a perfect, precise pitch, it would hit a twig, kick left, kick right, wrap around another twig 17 times. And it was an absolute mess. And by the time I actually got it undone, I had to cut off, retie because my line was so frayed. And throughout practice, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to the 1 ounce because I had more momentum going to my landing spot. And if I didn't make a perfect pitch, it would kind of, instead of deflecting and kicking like straight left or right, it would kind of deflect and go in the water or continue to my location. So that was the whole purpose of the 1 ounce. And then, just hopping it out to where I visualized those females were sitting. And honestly, I wish I could say it was more than that, but that's it. It's just so I could make more efficient pitches and hit my spots better.
I gotta say, watching you do that, you were as efficient as I've ever seen anybody flipping and pitching. No wasted motion. I mean, elbows in, just a simple pendulum swing. Yeah. You were in and out of that water as fast as you possibly could. And it had to be a huge help with all those targets because there was a million targets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm with you. It's I'm a very fast flipper, very fast fisherman in general. But I especially flip fast. I visualize where the fish are, what direction they're facing, where they are in the water column. Are they directly beneath the mat? If I'm flipping a mat, are they directly beneath the mat, or are they towards the bottom? And that all affects my fall rate that I allow the bait to fall, because I do thumb it when I flip. I'm always controlling my fall rate. I can flip a 1 ounce and make it sink as slow or as fast as I want it to. And that's the biggest key to flipping. You're controlling everything. How when I flip the bait, making it land in the water as quiet as possible. That's a big deal too. Right before it hits the water, everyone listening, you guys, right before you flip a 1 ounce, you need to drop your rod tip just a hair and hesitate for a second and get that weight to fall first and get the crawdad up in the air above the weight and let it enter that water, just like you'd see an Olympic diver, how they enter the water off of a 40-foot high, jump stand. And then I control the fall rate as it approaches the bottom. And by controlling the fall rate, that allows the fish to get it in its mouth better. If you use a 1 ounce and you just let it go straight to the bottom, you're going to get a lot of crappy bites, and then you're going to lose a lot more fish, so your catch ratio goes down. So all of those factors go in there, and it is very important to master that if you want to be a good player.
That was incredible to watch. One thing I noticed, and we're going to take a quick break, but I want to ask you this. You mentioned did you felt more depth? Were you could you tell when it was deeper, when you had actually entered into a bed?
Yeah, I could. I could feel it just sink just a second longer. It's all feel. 100% of that's feel, and a lot of that's hard to explain. It's instinct and stuff. But I could. I would sometimes actually I would flip it into a bed or a little depression, and I actually thought it was a bite because it would just sink just that millisecond longer. And I'm like, oh, and you'd see me on camera where I'm like, oh, and there's nothing there. It just sank another 2 inches,
Right.
But yeah, it's just a feel thing.
Man, well, it was awesome to watch, and we're going to talk some more about it. If you guys will hang in, we're going to take a quick break. BTC, do we want to announce what's happening next, or what are we doing?
Well, Peter, since you said that, we're going to take a quick break and come back. We just might have a special guest going to pop in for a minute. Buddy of Keith's.
Okay.
I think you know who it is. See you in 3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Moment on the water not spent fishing is a moment wasted. That's why Minn Kota and Humminbird have joined forces to bring you the One Boat Network. Products that communicate and integrate to help you take full command of your boat. Born from our commitment to making the most advanced fishing gear even better by making it work together, the One Boat Network will help you find, get to, stay on, and catch more fish. When One Boat Network products talk to each other, they can navigate your boat automatically. They can give you a crystal clear view of what's below with no messy wires. And they can let you lower, raise, and change shallow water anchor modes from anywhere on the boat. But that's just the beginning. We're never done innovating, integrating, and making your boat simpler and easier to control. All so you can make every second on the water count.
Tackle Warehouse is proud to sponsor the FLW Pro Circuit and is the official tackle retailer of FLW, providing proven bass fishing gear as well as the newest and hottest tackle. Our friendly and knowledgeable customer service staff can help you every step of the way. And we offer free ground shipping on orders over $50. Tackle Warehouse. Everything for the bass angler at the lowest prices. Guaranteed.
I have to be constantly on the lookout for new techniques to stay on the top of my game.
Giant.
Some have been more successful than others.
Giant.
The finesse fingernail.
Happens every time.
The chain gang.
Broke it off.
The crow's nest.
Never let go.
And don't even get me started on tackle management, especially trying to stop rust and corrosion. Peanut butter. Not good. Motor oil.
Gotta keep the rust off all these baits.
WD-40.
Gotta keep the rust off.
Silica, toothpicks, Q-tips, the list goes on and on. I'm hard on tackle, I fish fast, I need my tackle organized and protected. I can't be worrying about losing baits to rust. And when it comes to tackle management, there's only one solution. Flambeau tackle storage systems with Z-Rust technology. The original anti-rust tackle box. Uncompromised clarity. Renowned durability. The infused anti-rust option that is FDA safe and free of harmful chemicals. The organization options are endless, but there's only one. One box, one anti-corrosion technology, one family-owned American-made brand, Flambeau Z-Rust Tackle Solutions. Preserve, perform, repeat.
Yeah, the signal's pretty rough here.
But we got you.
Let me see. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I got full bars on my Wi-Fi.
John Cox.
I guess that means we're back live.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. And yes, our special guest is John Cox, man. It's with bad signal, but it's a signal, and it's good to have you with us tonight, buddy.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I'm in the hills of Austin, Texas, so the signal's pretty rough. But I got one more day of the Major League Fishing tournament. So we got one more day tomorrow, and then we're gonna drive through the night and try to make the Bass Elite.
Oh my God!
You're my hero, and congratulations! You're having a killer tournament this week, man.
Man, it's been unbelievable, man. There's water here. You can see down 15, 20 feet in some places. And man, I don't know. I've just been hanging in there every day. So, man, I don't know. See if we can get one more day out of it.
That's all. How are things going out there? Are you fishing in 100 feet of water for suspended fish with your forward-facing sonar?
Yeah. Well, funny story. The first day I was really struggling, and I pulled into a pocket, and they came up schooling, and I caught some. And I went back the next day, and turned my graph on, and I was in like 90 feet of water. So I was like, oh man, I'm really catching them deep this week. But they were right on the surface. But
oh man. Yeah. Well, we're going to be rooting for you to crush them tomorrow. I mean, it's tough when you're a threat to win, but how about your guy here, man? You talked him up. You gave him confidence. You gave him a little boost, a little push. Now he's going to be competing against you in the Classic.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so happy for him, man. I even if he wins the Classic, it'll be like me winning it, if he wins. So no matter what happens, I'm just glad that he's doing so well. And man, I enjoy watching him fish. So it's been pretty cool.
I bet it has been cool. Did we lose those guys, BTC?
No.
Oh no, they're still there. My screens are just jumping around. He was telling us great things about you and how you guys were when you guys were kids, just, going to places where you could see the fish, and it inspired both of you guys. And boy, you both come a long way, buddy.
Yeah, man. Honestly, that's a little bit of what's going on this week here on Travis is, just a lot of visually seeing those fish cruising down the bank and throw it out in front of them. And, man, it's been a fun week.
Well, he gave away a bunch of some really important swim jig techniques tonight. I don't know if you got to hear some of them.
Oh man, I missed that. I should have. I've been driving. I just got back from the airport, so I missed all that. But he gave away the juicy stuff, didn't he?
He did.
The stuff you were supposed to give away when we hired you for the seminar.
I get.
Oh.
Jeez.
I'm just kidding. For all our subscribers, I'm busting John's chops here.
I thought I did give away all the juice.
You did, buddy. You did.
Yep. And you will. I think you will for always be the only instructor ever to jump a sandbar for me while filming.
Man, you should have got tips for that, John.
Yeah, I remember that. He was like, "Hey, you can jump over that, right?" And I was like, "Well, that part there looks a little rocky, but that out there looks like a little bit of sand. We'll jump over
that." That's awesome.
I was just like, because you're famous for that, and I'm like, there's no way he would do that unless there's like $1 million on the line. And so I just asked you, and you were just like, "Oh yeah, I'll jump over the sandbar. I'll drive down the street in my boat. Whatever." This crest liner can make it over asphalt, concrete abutments, no problem.
Oh my gosh.
that was pretty awesome. So are you guys still fishing team tournaments together?
No. Yeah.
Oh God, I wish we were.
Yeah, you know what? It's something funny. We had just talked about, I wish someone would make a professional team trail. Because
I know Brian.
I would love to jump
Come fish the ABT 100s, man. They'll let you in. They're letting pros in the ABT 100s.
Oh, yeah?
You got to come to Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we talked about that last year, actually.
Yeah.
But your options are definitely limited for sure.
I know. Because I miss fishing tournaments.
Right.
It's part of what makes me such a good angler was always fishing in the back of the boat behind him.
I bet.
I learned what cast can I make to produce one single bite behind this guy.
You did catch him behind me good though. Probably better than anybody I fished with. So.
So then when I would fish co-angler tournaments and fish behind other guys, I'm like, this is easy. Nobody fish behind. Like really. I would just stroke them behind other people.
So what did John cut you off and block you from the targets?
No, man, he is a master. He sees where every bite is going to come from, and he executes perfectly. He's a fantastic caster. He just doesn't miss. Very rarely does he have days when his mechanics are crappy. And when they are, then he's like, all right, man, you drive control over,
Yeah, that's right. That's when you pick up the slack. That's happened a lot of times. So we won a lot of tournaments where I could just instantly tell I woke up on the wrong side of the bed and like something wasn't working right. And Keith just jumped up front and made it happen. So I think that's why we did so well all the time.
When the wheels started to fall off, it was when McDonald's stopped making the sausage McSkillet burrito.
Without a doubt, that is definitely when I couldn't get it together after that.
Yeah.
So was that one of the secrets to your success? Was the ride to the ramp breakfast sandwich?
The boat food.
Yeah. They're so good. They were giant burritos they used to have, and we're like almost like authentic Mexican. And they stopped making them around like 2010 or 11 or something.
Mexican
you would eat
burritos
that
from Florida.
You would eat that thing and be full all the way until the next morning. It was so good.
Well, somehow you must have figured out a way to get out of that hole, because you both are starting to do pretty well.
Yeah.
So John, is this the first event that you're going into this year with no practice? Like, because I know you're fishing like 7 different leagues this year.
Good question.
You're going in no practice?
No,
is this the first,
I actually. Yeah, well, so I've never made a cast at Neely Henry before. So
Nice.
my first cast will be day 1 of the event. And we're gonna drive through the night. I think we're gonna get there at 5:30, and we're gonna take off at 5:45. So it's gonna be we're gonna push it to the last minute. But I also had I went to Rayburn this year. We did the same thing. Drove all through the night from Pickwick. Got there, no practice. Got out there, caught a nice one right off the bat, and for some reason I decided to put it on the trailer and go run up river, and I zeroed the rest of the day. So I'm gonna try to keep it together, after the long drive, and try to get a check out of this next one.
John, do people like in the elites like fear you because like you're just showing up to these events like no practice, no nothing, yeah, I'm just gonna show up and catch them?
No, I don't think anybody worries about me too much, but a few of them were wishing me luck at this one so that I would miss practice. So
that's funny.
What's your plan? I had to do this once, John. As a matter of fact, I had to do it on the James River the last time I fished there. I got there like I had an hour and a half of practice. That's all I got, and it spun me out. Like, well, I mean, I had so much water to cover that I really wasted my hour and a half that I had.
Right.
How are you? Because I was trying to do too much. How are you planning to attack a body water with no practice? What's your plan?
I mean, honestly, what you exactly said is what I did at Rayburn. I mean, it's the exact same thing. I spun out, had too many places to check, and I finished awful. I did really bad at that one. So I'm going to try to learn from that mistake going into this one at Neely Henry. And I've picked a section of the lake, and I'm going to just go and do it as a practice day. And I'm going to put the trolling motor down and just cover a lot of water and try to figure out some kind of pattern in that section that I picked out to fish. So.
Got it. Fish small. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Keith, when you're in these in these tournaments like the Open and this NPFL, do you call John? Do you like say, hey man, going into the final day, any piece of advice for me, or do you do that?
Yeah. I mean, we talk as much as we can with without breaking any rules and information or anything like that. But yeah, help each other out just with mindset and stuff. A lot of times just hey, here's how maybe you should see the lake or something, and and like for example, where
catch one at a time.
Right. Yeah. Catch one at a time. If you had a lousy practice, don't worry about catching 5. Go catch 1, and then worry about catching 2. Stuff like that. But it's funny. John says going to Neely, talking about putting the trolling motor down and just going. I'm here at Lake Seminole. Today was my 3rd day of practice. My first 2 days were terrible. Like I didn't even catch anything. And this lake always gets me. I haven't cast a check here since 2004. Well, today I was like, I'm just going to put the trolling motor down. So I go out and I put the trolling motor down, and I didn't pick it up for 8 hours, and I freaking caught him. It's like now I'm finally excited. I got some real big fights today, more than one. So I really like your plan, man, for Neely Henry. Just go put that damn trolling motor down. Don't pick it up.
He got on the watch 410 this morning, so that's an accomplishment in its own.
Oh man!
Wow!
I can't say much. I got on the water at 9:30. So.
Hey, we've got a lot of people watching, and Riz, I want to throw it over to our IM board. What do you got for us?
All right, yeah. So we got a question on the board, or more of a comment. Jimmy Spins wants to know. He wants to know from Keith and John. Talk a little bit more about when you guys were fishing team tournaments. Like, how did you know, John, that it just wasn't going to be your day? And like, at what point did you feel like, okay, now it's time for me to give Keith the trolling motor, let him have the front of the boat, make the decisions, kind of just take things over? A lot of guys that watch us are also team tournament fishermen, and that's an important thing to be able to do, is recognize, I'm not on, or I'm not feeling it right now. I'm not making the right cast. Here, bud, you take the trolling motor. Talk about that a little bit.
Right. So I think the most part is normally like the first sign is like if I like set the hook on the first one, I set it way too hard, I miss it, and I blow that opportunity. Or if it's, if I'm getting hung up constantly, and like I'm just not feeling it, just not performing, and it happens, it's even like when you're playing baseball and you're just not hitting, you're like, man, I'm just not hitting it. You go ahead and, and that's what we do. We just change it up. And and Keith's like, he's ready to go. Like at that point, he waits for that opportunity. And so when I'm like, hey man, you go ahead and, take the boat, the front, and he usually hammers something.
Yeah. Well, part of why I hammer him is because I've seen his mistakes. So for that day, I'll see what John did. I'll say, all right, don't do that.
Right.
And one of the biggest things, that I respect about John is being like one of the best angler in the world, is that he knows when to lay down too. Like with that example, he knows when to say, hey, it's not my day. And instead of like having a big ego and just keep going and keep losing fish, he knows when to back off, and that's such a big, asset to have.
Right. And that's honestly helped me fishing other tournaments too, because when I know something's not right and I'm not catching them, I'm not on, I'm getting hung up a lot, I'm losing fish. That's kind of when I don't give up, but I can go to plan B, say, hey, I need to put some fish in the boat. I need to pull a worm out. I need to get 5 in the boat, and then try to regroup the next day. And, it's really helped me over the years, seeing that, that just sometimes you just don't fish well.
Yeah.
Well, John, when you fish well or you don't fish well, you were the happiest guy on tour. And at least that's the outward impression. And Keith, is that the case? Does John break sonar units and rods and go nuts when nobody's looking?
No, man, he's always happy. And honestly, looking back, it's the best mindset to have. When you're out there in the boat by yourself and things aren't going right, there's nobody to pick you up but you. You're out there by yourself in practice days, tournament.
Well said.
Yep.
And so with John having that overly joyous mindset, it's the best mindset you could possibly have to be the best fisherman in the world.
That
Yeah.
there was the most important thing of the show tonight.
Yeah, really.
For
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, we could all take, because you the demons creep in.
Yeah.
And any tournament angler knows it. I mean, you've been a couple hours without a bite. I mean, the demons will creep right in. You lose confidence. You struggle. Having that positive, that PMA that Swindle always talks about. John, you seem to have it naturally, and Keith, you too, man. And I'm sure that's a big reason for your success. But your success from one of you guys is about to come to an end right now. we are going to have something.
I think I'm going to get off. See you, Pete.
Oh no! We're having a Bass U battle. We're having a one shot deal, and it's winner take all, and it's Keith versus John. JK, professional fish head, has cultivated a test, a Bass U battle for you guys, and whoever comes up with the best solution. This is how we do it. He's going to give you a set of conditions. Okay. You both are going to take a stab at how you're going to solve those conditions. And we as judges, everybody on this podcast, are going to vote for their winner, and winner take all. JK?
Including Landon. Landon has to vote too.
Yeah, Landon has to vote too. It's John versus Keith. So taking the blinders off, I just came up with this, so let's be real. I'm gonna go to your backyard, except I'm not gonna put you in your backyard. I'm not gonna let you go there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make you go out of Palatka in the St. Johns River. I'm not gonna let you run, just like the Bassmaster guys did to you, John. They won't let you run home. But I'm gonna put you there. I'm gonna put you there in the fall. The mullet are running, the shrimp are coming in, all that stuff. It's unique, right? You're getting some good biting conditions or whatever, but no practice, zero practice. You got to go out of Palatka. Where are you going? What are you doing? You got to beat the other. So there you go. How are you going to catch your big bag?
Well, man, in the fall, I'm going to stay right at the boat ramp. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not even going to start the big motor. I'm going to throw crankbait on the shell bars, on the bridge, all within sight of the ramp. And we won't pull the trolling motor up until weigh-in time.
I love it.
I love it.
Oh, my God.
Keith's going after the release fish pattern.
Yes.
All right, John, your boy Keith is taking all those release fish from you. What are you going to do?
I mean, honestly, that time of year, it is a super tough time of year. And since you put our backyard out of play, I would probably just pack it up and go to the house, because it is going to be so tough. And that's, I don't know how many times, Keith, how many times have we done that where we're like, man, it's going to be so tough, and we just throw the trolling motor in at the ramp and just fish all day, and it's like, and it goes okay, so I guess the only other thing. Yeah, the only other thing I'd probably do is, if I got tired of the ramp area, I would probably run down to the mouth of George, and I would start hitting, any of the docks, any of the hard cover down there, since all the grass is gone. I'd probably, throw Texas rigs and stuff around some of the docks, and just try to find somewhere to catch some fish. Because it will be tough around that time of year.
That's true. That's good.
Great. Well, good question, JK, though. Way to test these boys. And John,
it's self-serving. I got a regional there in the fall.
I knew that. Oh, it was a setup.
I had it in my mind. I was like, I knew there was a regional there this fall. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Are you fishing the Savannah one?
No, I got in through the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs. Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
JK, you made this great question. We're giving you the honors. Who are you picking to win this little Bass U battle?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to take their information and do it in the tournament. I'm not going to do either of that probably, but I love what John said. I really do. I really do. The problem is John, you know me, two good fishermen facing off of each other. What am I going to do? I'm going to take volume over, all day long. So Keith's staying right there, making more casts than John's going to get in running down to the mouth of George. So I've given it to Keith. Sorry, buddy.
Keith. All right. Keith's got the first vote. Landon, I'm throwing it to you next. Who's winning this derby?
Give me Keith on that one. I hate George. I've never called him because of George. The one time I've done good on the river, I was in Crescent. I should have won that tournament, but yeah, give me Keith.
All right. Landon's coming in with Keith. BTC, I don't know if you're ready, but I'm throwing it to you next.
Well, I mean, John's won enough, so. And I love them both, but you know what I mean. I don't care. I don't have
what kind of answer is that? Come on, man, step out.
I have no idea.
I know you have a man crush on John. I know.
It's my
Come
friend.
on,
Let's
hear it.
Man crush.
Yeah.
Ain't Joe Rogan.
BTC, who you picking?
I'm going with Keith because I don't know why. Because beer.
Well, that's
Riz, talk to me.
All right. So the answer I was actually looking for from both of these guys was that they were going to run all the way up to Jacksonville and go red fishing all around the whole Jacksonville area because the fishing will probably be a little bit better up there and you might be able to catch some other kind of species. But with that being said, I am going with John, and here's why. I don't know if this is a thing on that tidal river or not, but up here, the later into the year you get, the salt line starts to get further influencing on the fishing. So I think with John going down to Lake George, he's getting as far away from the salt line influence as possible. So those bass are still going to be fishing more like bass, not so much like redfish. They're eating shrimp and mullet and everything else all the way up the river. So I'm going with John because he's getting down in the fresh stuff and he's going to throw his Max Scent General wacky rig and catch a fish.
That's Riz. That is a very well calculated, detailed answer.
Yeah, well, I'm going with Rich. I'm changing my vote. I'm going with Rich.
If that's the case, we're going red fishing. We're going north. Baby.
I'm going red fishing with Rich.
Wait a minute, JK, can we change votes? It's up to you. I'm leaving the decision up to you. Can BTC change his vote?
I think this just in from Ken Duke. He gives the thumbs up. So yes. So yeah, Ken said we could do it.
Yes to everything.
This makes it interesting because it's tied now. It's 2 votes to 2. It comes down to the dean for the deciding win. And really, BTC, I thought for sure you were going to pick John because he goes to the house like you do when the fish aren't biting.
No, I go to the bar. I ain't going home. The last place I'm going is home.
Yeah, well, isn't that the same place now with your man cave?
Good point. Yeah, it is, actually. I forgot.
Yeah. So good. Riz, great, great perspective, JK. I got to go right back to earlier in the show when it was said that every released fish is a keeper. I'm going with Keith. Keith wins the Bass U battle tonight.
Which, according to Keith, is bigger than the classic. So there you go.
I'd still rather catch redfish than some whooped up bass. You know what I mean?
Hey, that was super fun. John, thanks so much for stopping by. I know you got to fish tomorrow, man. I appreciate your time. Go get some sleep, you know?
All right. See you guys. Appreciate it.
Dude, thanks,
All right, John.
Thanks,
I hope Bassmaster puts a camera in his boat at Neely. I really do.
And a bottle of
I
no
really
dose.
do.
Right.
I really want it. They want it.
Honestly, JK, that would be the best camera placement in history. How to, how to deal with no preparation, like you got to start over. I mean, that would be the best camera placement. I agree.
We'll see how smart they are. I don't know that they have a professional fish head to think like that, though.
Yep.
So
Hey, well,
Andy,
good luck
if you're
tomorrow,
watching,
John.
Emily,
Good luck
make it
tomorrow,
happen.
buddy.
Come on.
please. See you, John.
All right. You have a good night,
All right,
buddy.
see you
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Hey, man. Good luck
See you,
tomorrow.
Good luck. See you.
Thank
you.
John.
See
Hey,
you.
bud.
See you guys.
Win that thing.
Yes.
Put the
Yes.
down. Yeah.
I'm more intrigued about John fishing day one at Neely than watching him come back and win tomorrow. I mean, he doesn't have to come back because they reset at 0. But man, I just want to see how he tackles it on no practice.
So
he has never made a cast there ever.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's the best story of the event, and it hasn't even happened yet. They're all down there fishing
Yeah, I hope he wins.
in that rain, right?
Oh, they got their practices cut short. A lot of them were cutting off at 2, 3 o'clock today. I saw. I mean, we got torched in central and northern Georgia.
How far is this
Alabama.
ride from the between the events?
Really far.
It's
1,000 miles, probably.
8-9 hours.
No, maybe more.
That's probably more. Yeah, probably 12.
10.
10.
Oh my.
Yeah,
God.
I think Austin's like 12 for me or 13 for me, so it's probably like 10 or 11 to Gadsden.
Dude, so if they get like,
that's awesome.
he said they're gonna get there 15 minutes before blast off. Dude, something goes wrong, like they'll show up late. And John will show up late. Yeah, whatever.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's okay.
Hey, dude, hold
It's
on.
all right if you show up late. I've shown up late. I mean, the cool thing about showing up late is there's no launch line. You know?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, true story.
He played everything.
Yeah.
Pete Klusik taught me how to get on an airplane. He waits until every single person is on that airplane. And he waits until they say last call. And then he stands up and strolls over. Walks into that airplane, no line. Everybody that's sitting there already sweating, breathing farts for 30 minutes waiting to get the plane loaded. Just walk right in, sit down, put the seatbelt on, the plane takes off. It's brilliant, Pete.
Good move.
Thank you. It is.
Yep. It works. It works on Derby Day too.
Yeah.
You know, you can roll right up. You're the last boat in, no launch line. You know, they're doing coordination, all kinds of nonsense. You just put your boat in, real easy, no trouble. But honestly, if you're late to a tournament, it's not a big deal as long as the tournament officials are still there to take you off. You miss the first few minutes of the tournament, but you can still go out and compete as usual. So that would be, he needs to be live the whole time.
Yeah,
he
like the ride there. Dude, he
drive.
needs if he doesn't have a Red Bull sponsor or meth sponsor by now, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know a lot. I've only been to Neely a couple times. Neely's not on your schedule, is it, guys?
No.
I don't want to get you guys in trouble. But the release area, it's a good release area. It's like one of the lakes that's gonna have a release area matter. You know, somebody's gonna catch a bag right there by the ramp probably, and it might as well be John Cox putting that trolling motor down.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it'll be fascinating. Hey, so you guys have the Toyota this week. When is the next NPFL?
The next NPFL is the last week of May, going into the first few days of June on the Harris Chain of Lakes.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wow, that's well, Jiminy Christmas. That's right up your alley, I'm sure, Keith. But everybody else is scratching their head like, what the heck do we do in the summertime in Florida?
Man, I'm kind of scratching my head too. You know, summertime it can be tough, but I'm gonna have to try to fish deep. multi-day tournament in Florida, I just don't think I can maintain. I could probably cash a check shallow, maybe bust a big bag day one, and stuff. But I don't know. That offshore, it's like steady 18 a day, steady. Catching
What
that
is
quality. So
what is deep on Harris chain, like in Florida? Like how deep?
What is it, 6 feet, 7 feet? How deep is the? Yeah, like that's.
No, it goes right to 6 or 7 off the reeds, doesn't it? Over there.
Yeah, but even out in the middle, it's like 8 feet. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's holes that go to 20, but I don't think you usually don't catch them in the holes that much. They're on like shallow, on the shell bars, like 8 feet or so. Because when you get less than 8 feet, then you get hydrilla. And so what happens is those shell bars, well, one, they're hard, so it doesn't grow as much. The grass doesn't grow as much, but two, it's deep where the sunlight doesn't penetrate deep enough, so the hydrilla can start to grow. So, anything shallower than that, you're gonna have grass everywhere.
So what kind of is there vegetation out there in that relatively speaking deeper stuff?
No, mostly it's shell bars, and then anything shallower than 8 feet or so, roughly, is all going to be hydrilla and milfoil, but mostly hydrilla, 90.
So do those fish? They just set up on the shell bars themselves, describe a shell bar to me, and how a shell bar fishes. I've never experienced it, so
Keith,
I
you want me to grab this one?
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Keith wants to educate everybody when they hadn't gone there yet. He's got a hometown
I fished
advantage.
one time behind Keith and John. So.
Riz.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Out there in the edges.
Yeah. Just fish slower than the two guys in front of you.
Yeah, you killed them out there. You're like Texas rigging a little crawl, and I'm thinking he's not going to catch anything. And you're like, got one, 4-pounder. Got another one, 4-pounder. And me and John left that day. We're like, dang, we've never done that before. And now I've been Texas rigging little crawls ever since.
The power of BTC. Look,
BTC's a hammer.
Make it move.
Really
make it move. I like it. Well, the key to that tournament was, as I recall, was current. And will you have current or won't you have current that time of year? I guess you never really know.
Right. Yeah, we don't know until we get there. If we get a lot of rain, we'll open the locks up and we will have current. But see when we get there.
They still won't let you go behind the Toho lock there and just cast up to the dam like they used to let you.
No, man, you can't fish within 300 yards of that. And there was one day I was practicing for a tournament and I was locking through and I was talking to the lady about it. Because every boat that does that in a tournament, they get disqualified and they always catch 30 pounds. It really is giants there. I asked the lady about it and she's like, you can go fish that anytime you want, honey. She's like, I don't care. I ain't the police. I ain't going to call on you. And I was like, really? And she's like, yeah. And I just never made it back because I only usually fish lakes for tournaments. I actually don't fun fish as much as I'd like to. But that is a goal of mine. Get it back to Toho and just go lay into a bunch in the no fishing area a lot there.
That is an amazing place, and you see people there all the time. It is the NPFL, man. Go for it.
Yeah.
Jump over that buoy line, man. Come on, Keith.
I think Brad will probably have something to say about. Brad's about to text us right now saying you better not do that.
Yeah.
He'll be like, he's like, due to conversations at Bass University, we have a new off limits map that we want to share with the anglers.
Yeah.
But well, hey guys, I wish you the best of luck on Seminole. I hope you guys crush it. I know it's tough fishing down there right now.
Yeah, it's muddy. It's tough. Yeah.
What is it? Now wait a minute. It's post spawn down there right now, right? The fish are off the beds. I mean, shouldn't it be outside grass edges, that kind of thing?
They haven't made it out there yet. Everything's so far behind here. They they just really got done spawning pretty much last week. The last full moon we had, we still had some stragglers still around, but for the most, they haven't made it out to the far grass lines yet. But I don't know. They're in between. It's kind of difficult with the Spring Creek. You can only see down about a foot right now, which normally right now you can see down about 8 to 10 because we had all that rain last. When we were in Texas, all that rain we had got here. We had like 8 inches in a day or two or something. It muddied it up, but the clear water's coming. Hopefully it'll be here by Thursday. And if it is, it could get good.
Awesome. Well, I definitely hope that happens. Riz, I don't know if you have a pocket question that I don't know about, or anybody else got anything before we let these guys go?
Yeah, I got one more question, specifically from Mike O. He's asked me a couple times, and I just want to make sure I get it in for him. He's one of our longtime subscribers. He wants to know, Keith, when you're fishing a chatterbait, talk about how you fish it, what kind of rod do you use, like size, and talk about your retrieve a little bit.
Okay, so the rod that I use mostly here, so this one, it's a 7.3 medium heavy, a Boo Garcia Fantasista. I use it on a 7.3 gear ratio reel, and I use 20-pound fluorocarbon. And I like 20 because, I mean, one, I'm fishing for big ones, and two, you could just lay, you know. I used to throw 15 and 17, but when you hook into like an 8, it's not fun. It's not fun reeling in a giant on 15. On 20, when I hook them good, I just feel confident, like I got it. So as far as the retrieve goes, I rarely ever do a straight retrieve. I'm constantly pumping it, letting it fall, bringing it up to the surface, letting it fall, and then just feeling, you know, what the structure is. If it's a tree, if it's a laydown. If it's a laydown, I might cast beyond a limb and then buzz it over the limb real fast. And as soon as it clears the limb, I'll kill it for a second and then pop it a couple times and reel it in. You know, just make sure that you're varying your retrieve a lot. If you're just doing a straight retrieve where you're just casting line, you're going to catch fish, but you're going to leave a lot of fish out there that you could have boated. So you have fun with it. Find what works for you.
Follow-up question to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Pete. I got a follow-up to that. Keith, being from Florida, do you ever not fish for pigs?
Yeah. No. Well, sometimes. You know, sometimes if they're schooling, I just go out there and just catch 50 fish in a couple hours, you know, and maybe the biggest is 3 pounds. And I've done that on official practice days and even tournament days when I absolutely should not do that. But it's like when they're coming up like the size of a football field, it's like, you got no catch them. You got them.
Okay, so a more serious follow-up question. You're gonna have tournaments in your future, and you probably had them before. But you talk about right now, that's all you're fishing is stuff to prepare for tournaments. So aside from fun fishing, you know, you're from the land of 7, 8, 9, 10 pounders, you know, and you've won tournaments. You went out to Wright Patman, and the place has got them and wire to wire. But you're gonna have these tournaments where 12 pounds is a good bag.
Yeah.
I mean, is it going to be hard for you to be targeting 2.5 pounders when you know there's still some 5 pounders to go? I mean, is that going to be a hard situation for you?
You know, that's something that I used to be concerned about, but I won a tournament on the Red River, and it was I fished co-angler on the FLW tour, and I won it. And I actually caught enough fish to make the top 10 on the motor side too. And I caught them all on a little crankbait. I didn't kill them, but just stayed steady, 12 pounds a day. And that's part of how I had so much confidence when I won Lay Lake on a little crankbait. Was
little co-angler day.
Yeah, it just takes you back to those days when you know there's times where you just gotta grind it out. You got to have that mindset that, all right, hey, fish for 12 pounds, you know, and if 3.5 is a giant, 4 is a giant, you know, but I don't know. I actually like those grinder tournaments. So in some weird way, I love it. Like, you know, you get one good bite and catch a limit, you're gonna be right around the hunt.
Yep.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
That's going to suit you well.
Sometimes.
Yeah, being the NPFL is going to have 2 summertime tournaments and 2 fall time tournaments. You're going to come into those grinders, you know.
Yeah, and I'm kind of excited for them. I'm as prepared as I can be. You know, after winning Lay Lake in December when it was like snowing out. I mean, shoot, now I used to think I could only win during the spring, and now I'm like, maybe I can win any time of year. So, yeah, so I'm kind of excited.
Let me follow up on the chatterbait. I saw you throwing around all that junk, and you talked about how complicated it was. Are you weedless fishing? Did you modify your bait? Do you just throw it in there and go get it? How are you getting it through all that stuff?
So I'll kind of answer this for him. So I was throwing chatterbait too there, and we did get hung up a lot, like a lot. And you had to go get it. You couldn't just pop it off, but the Z-Man does have a weedless, that new cross-eyed, it's a weedless one. I had it on the third day, and it didn't get hung up as much. I got more bites on it. Like I could get it up in there more.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
that weedless one. I don't throw a weedless one. I don't know. I just try to perfect my cast so I don't get hung up. And you can vary your retrieve so you don't get hung up. You can time it and keep that hook upright and bring it right over limbs and stuff like that. And now, of course, you do still get hung up throughout the day, but I can limit that to, maybe less than 10 times a day getting hung up there. And I don't know. I just feel like by not using the weedless one, maybe I'll hook one or two more fish a day or hook them better. It's just a preference thing. I feel that using a weedless one, it allows me to swim the bait through the structure better, and also to have awareness of where my bait is at all times. Because if I lose awareness, I get hung up. So it helps me in more ways than just catching fish. It keeps me mentally focused. I'm somebody who struggles with focus throughout the day. When I have those days when I'm just flipping, endless lines of highest and max, I can actually just get into a rhythm and forget about what I'm doing and actually just like think about not even fishing stuff. And so by using a not weedless chatterbait, this helps me stay focused better.
Wow. Well, I am the dean, and I think Paul Benson was right. You are the professor.
Oh, man. I don't know about that.
You were bringing it. You guys both did. And, thanks so much for hanging out with us, taking time during this tournament. I want to give a shout out to Tackle Warehouse on your shirt and the Bass Tank on your hat.
And Heideke, new sponsor for Landon.
I wish.
That's awesome. Or the locksmith, the local locksmith might be a sponsor too. Well, we appreciate you guys. Good luck this week. We're going to be watching. We're all going to be watching John tomorrow too. It's a great week of fishing back on the net, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, BTC, is there anything else that I'm forgetting?
Yeah, I got one question. Do they still put a rope under the cowling of these giant outboards?
No.
Okay. I had my last outboard was a 200 Merc, and it had a rope under the cowling.
Yep. You needed 3 men to pull that rope to try to get that motor started.
Yeah, I couldn't do that,
man. Now, you got to have a jump box, jumper cables. You got to get electric hooked up to that motor.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Hey, thanks so much, guys. Good luck this week, and we'll be watching. Thank you so much.
Thanks guys.
Appreciate
All
it,
right.
man.
You guys have a great night.
Good luck down there.
You too.
We'll be watching. Like, the winds keep coming, JK. Like,
when you're hot, you're hot.
My gosh, they keep coming. What do you got, BTC?
Me? Oh, I was just saluting my guest. Oh.
I gotta say though, the follow up from that chatterbait conversation when Scroggins came on and gave us that weedless thing.
I know they're still on.
Your
Don't
boy
give
went
it
out.
away, Justin.
I don't care.
Landon's
Your
still
boy
in
went
there.
out. Your boy went out. I went and got the drill bits I needed, and I did what Scroggins did. And let me just say that chatterbait's coming through crossbars now under docks.
It is.
And brush. I mean, nasty brush.
Where did you get the 220?
I'm excited about this. I actually went cheap. I got the 170-pound fluorocarbon coated mono. So I get the clear properties of fluorocarbon, but I got the same diameter of that 220 for a whole lot cheaper, for like $14.
Some of our subscribers that night during the show said that one of the ways that you can work around that is buy a tennis racket off of like Facebook Marketplace.
That's genius.
A tennis racket has that really thick plastic wiring.
Yeah.
And that you could use that to you could like pull the string of that and use that.
Dude, it's perfect. It's thick enough to where you're deflecting off of everything. But when a fish grabs on, I mean, it collapses, no problem. No problem.
Keith?
Are you catching them on that?
I'm not gonna. I got some derbies coming up, Rez, and we'll talk about it later. You know,
come on,
man.
man.
I figure I got something a little different going on with it as far as what it is. But yeah, I'm catching them on it.
Okay.
I've got something different though. For it's not just your standard. We'll reveal it maybe a little bit later once the season's up. But
he said maybe. Peter?
Yeah, maybe. When people remember, people don't remember.
They
don't
no
remember.
maybe.
See you guys.
You got to get it. You got to give up the goods. We tell the truth at Bass University.
I told the truth. I just didn't tell all
you
the
told
truth.
You told a version of the truth.
Of partial
JK. No, but
I don't want to give away like the size and colors and stuff right now. You know,
I just want to straight up say it: the weedless nature of a chatterbait to be able to impact that habitat and come through is unbelievable. It's just absolutely unbelievable. Now I've used the weedless versions from Z-Man, and I haven't used the modification, but I have the cross eyes. I'm trying to work with them, but you're putting that vibrating jig in places where it can't be reached by an exposed hook, and you can zip it inside of brush piles and bushes, and you can drop it,
pop and lock
treetops, you name it, man. There's something to it that's coming. But I think Scroggins modification's got to be a standard manufacturing procedure soon. But I do want to stop the show and give a shout out to young Jake Gluzek, who won their 6th baseball game. They're now 6-1.
Whoa!
As of tonight, he came in with dirt all over his uniform, saying, "Dad, we won again."
Right on.
Nice, awesome.
I can't wait to see the video. But we got that. That was awesome. Congratulations, Jake. JK, you got a list for us tonight?
Always. I got lists on lists on lists. So this one's going to kind of feel like it's coming out of left field, but with all the new people that are fishing since 2020 and everything, we've added a lot of new fishermen. Well, we've also added a lot of new people fishing tournaments and high school fields and college fields, and I've gotten 3 DMs. I hope you guys are listening, and I'll get back to you in my DMs when I'm get through with the show tonight, so that that the list was given. But they're asking me for seminars on, hey, my son's new to tournament fishing, or we're new to tournament fishing. We love fishing. We're not necessarily beginners by any means, but how do you approach a tournament? Can you recommend seminars for this? So I'm giving you my top 5, and when I'm telling you right now that these categories, when you use our categories section, click on tournaments, click on practice, click on preparation. click on the mental part. This is what's going to get you ready, to compete in tournaments. So I decided to go ahead and give out this top 5 as promised a few weeks ago to some people. We're going to start with Brian Thrift on fishing a new body of water. He's going to talk to you about what research to do months before you even plan to fish, on a new body of water. This is going to help you, whether or not you're tournament fishing. If you're going to a new body of water on a vacation and you just want to figure it out fast, this type of seminar will help you. We've got more than just Thrift. I love Thrift's one. It's one of my favorites for this, topic. So watch that. And then this one's brand new, not even a month old to Bass UTV, but Tournament Practice with a Purpose. Practice with a Purpose from G-Man, Gerald Swindle. He's going to help people, he's going to talk about where people go wrong with their practice and how to combat the bad decisions that they make throughout practice. He's going to talk to you about different search baits he uses in different seasons. When you're, what to put in your hands when you're fishing during practice and trying to find fish. And then I love his talk when you're talking about recognizing when a tournament is you're searching for single fish versus schools of fish. So watch that seminar. It's new. It's awesome. This one's not going to surprise anybody, but it has to make this list. The style's not for everybody, but Mike Iaconelli, Fishing the Moment. We've talked about it so much, but it belongs on this list for anybody new to tournament fishing. Let me say, it does not have to be your style. It's the one I adopted through my co-angler days. I'm sticking with it, from now on going forward. Mike is the OG when it comes to the phrase fish the moment. It's been for a while. Don't be fooled. This approach
by the person that ganked it on YouTube.
Don't
I didn't say that.
Others that are using it.
Former Bass U student.
That was supposed to be subtle, BTC. Anyways, guys, that seminar has been life-changing for me. As you all know, it really, truly has. Just that mindset on the water. You mix it with a little bit of positive attitude, and that right there is just the way I love to fish. And it's a successful way to fish. Not the only way, but definitely a proven way. Brandon Polinick. The title is Mentally Winning Tournaments, but this is one of the ones when we talk about the mental side of bass fishing a lot. We give credence to Gerald Swindle and Brian Latimer and some other really strong seminars on Bass UTV, but this one doesn't get as much credit as it deserves. This is a really, really solid seminar by one of the best anglers on the planet right now. 2 Elite Series trophies last year. Say enough about that. He's going to talk about tips on how to stay and how to be mentally tough when preparing for your next fishing trip or tournament, and how it helps him through, a hectic schedule, and just staying in that mindset, to keep the next bite coming. There's a lot of good tips in there. So you got to watch that if you're new to tournament fishing. And another one is John Cruz. This is the last one on the list. John Cruz, Become a Versatile and Consistent Bass Angler. Because at the end of the day, that's the type of angler you want to be when you're tournament fishing, in my opinion. Some guys make it by being really good at 1 or 2 things. That successful professional angler actually still exists. But the majority of success that you see people having, these guys are versatile. They become good at a lot of different things. And John goes through everything from not just, what to fish and how to create, this consistency, but just the different situations you're going to find yourself in, the different seasons he's going to talk about in different areas of the country, the different environmental situations, and how to stay efficient. And efficiency has a totally different definition when it comes to bass fishing. We think what efficient is, well, it's totally different in the mind of a professional, successful angler like John Cruz is. And one thing he's going to drop to you that I think is really cool, he's going to share his opinion on the major techniques to master, in his opinion, the ones you should start with to be a versatile and consistent angler. You know, it's going to help you cover all columns of the water in different situations. And I think that's a really, really sneaky good seminar for somebody new to tournament fishing. So there you have it.
Great list, JK. Well done. Appreciate you. As always, very detailed and a great group of seminars amongst a bunch of great seminars at Bass U. And we've got a lot going on. And we got to like and share. I want to remind everybody, like and share this on Facebook. We've got a great prize for you because we're going to be giving out a winner for that real soon. And BTC, I see a big list up here right now.
That's your closing monologues and points to hit. Peter, take a minute.
Yes.
And
I'm going to take a minute. We have the Gills contest.
Yeah.
You simply have to like the Gills Facebook and Instagram pages as well as the Bass University pages, and you're entered into that contest. You can also
how that works.
That's how that works.
Oh, okay.
And you can also go ahead, Rich, clarify this situation.
Take it away, Richard.
Right now, guys, on gillsgear.com, collaborated with the Bass University. All you have to do is hit the sign up page on gillsgear.com. It'll ask you for your email, a little bit of information, but no money. That's the thing. They're not asking for a single coin out of your pocket. And the deal is, if you win that Gills Gear contest, you're going to get 1 year to Bass University TV, $250 to Gills Gear, and 30 minutes on the air with us. That might be a punishment.
30
that
minutes.
You have to be on the air with us, but that's the deal, guys. $250 to Gills Gear, a year to Bass U, and a 30-minute meet and greet with the Bass U crew. Just go over to gills-gear.com, and the Bass University contest will pop up on the webpage as soon as you enter.
Yeah, I'm head to toe today. I got my whole costume on. I got my Gills Gear shirt.
Yeah.
Got the Gills Gear shirt hat, and I got my Gills Gear shirt shorts. See that?
By the way, you got shorts?
Yeah, I got shorts.
Joss, come on, Jocelyn.
I ordered them.
I didn't get any shorts, but dude,
I don't got any shorts. They don't make shorts that'll fit me.
What?
I'm loving the new Gills Gear that they hooked us up with. By the way, I was wearing the button down for like 12 weeks in a row, and they just set us up with the new performance shirts.
Wait, they did?
Yesterday
they
too.
Did?
It's what's that?
They did? I didn't see any new gear.
You didn't get any?
No.
I guess it's the Jersey connection going on then.
I guess so.
That's right. That's because we didn't get your promotional video yet, JK.
Oh, shoot.
Now you
when
know
I say
why
my
you
lists are like 45 things to do a day, it's not exaggeration.
Hey, that's all right, because apparently, I had to do a promo video for it, and according to Riz, I completely botched it because
I'm surprised.
the entry to enter the contest that I was given is different, but I do love Gills Gear. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. The Empire covers. If you have a product outdoors, check out Empire covers. Use the code BASSU21, get 15% off. If your cover has leaks, I know it happens. I mean, if you got a boat that's 5 years or more, it's leaking, it's ripped, it's torn, it's been battered through travel, get an Empire cover. Use that code BASSU21, get 15% off. Sea Clear Power is another. I mean, we're talking about forward-facing sonar, 360 side imaging. You can't imagine how it helps you and generates clarity. Riz, you got a new. What'd you get? A Solix or a Helix? What'd you get?
So I finally it's been, I don't know, I got it a couple weeks ago, but I got it rigged on. I did it myself this past week. A Humminbird Helix 12, and now my dream boat is officially I'm connected. I got my Helix 12 and 9 up front. I got my Helix 12 at the console. they're linked, so my waypoints are sharing amongst each other. And I got to spend the day on the water on Sunday, and it was a really big wind, a lot of a really high tide. So the fishing was almost just like, it was essentially just casting. So I said, you know what? Let me use my time a little wisely here, and I mapped out grass lines for hours. And the image that I'm getting on that Humminbird Helix 12 with the C-Clear power harness is like lights out. Like it is. Yeah, I was enjoying myself. I was happy as a pig in slop, just weaving in and out of that grass line, drop a waypoint, weave in, weave out, drop a waypoint, weave in, weave out, drop a waypoint. And I was locked on that Humminbird so hard. And the beauty of it is I know exactly what I'm looking at. There's no question. There's no, no ifs, ands, or buts. And not to slight any of the other brands, they're all really good. But I, over the years, have become accustomed and used to fishing with Humminbirds. And up until this past week, I did not have a Humminbird on my console, and I had doubt. I wasn't completely confident in what I was seeing. And just in this past weekend, I am so happy and thrilled with that Humminbird and that C-Clear power harness. It's given me that crystal clear image. Guys, it's the deal. You gotta get
the mega side imaging is unbelievable. When you're practicing,
so legit. You can see the blades of grass and the individual feathers. It's awesome.
Oh my God, I need that.
Yeah. I definitely have to give all the credit of one of my 5-pounders in the BFLs this year, the Sinclair one, the top 5 one. There's the stump that I caught this fish on was like that big, maybe that big.
Wait, why was it a stump?
It wasn't big at all.
Justin?
It was a stump.
Yeah, but why?
It was just a little stump. I know. I was meaning like it.
Oh,
like
you did that.
It's not even a stump. A stump is like this in my mind. It was like a baby stump.
Oh, okay.
But that's where she was sitting. There were like two fish on it in practice, and I came back and fished it. Noon the next day and caught a 5. I only found that because of Mega, the side imaging. I saw it on 360 for making my cast.
Yeah.
But I found that thing on the Mega side imaging. Just idling around in the pocket.
It's legit.
It is definitely.
The picture was ridiculous.
Yeah. And guys, subscribers, we got a great program with C-Clear Power. Let's give you 15% off a harness.
15% off. The code is BASSU.
BASSU.
Yeah.
Good luck to me. And at the upcoming tournament, I see that bullet point BTC.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Mike are heading out to the Open next week on the James River, and Mike won, I think, the last time, right? The last year.
Yep.
He won it, and I've had a few good derbies there. I'm looking forward to going there. So check it out. We're going to be keeping you guys posted. We're going to be doing
Morris
some
won't be there, right?
The what?
Rick Morris won't be there this time.
He won't?
Is he still in the Elite Series?
He is still in
he's
the
on
Elite
the
Series,
he's going
and
somewhere
I
else.
suspect he will be there. Because
his tournament will be over.
GDP will be there as well. So the whole Bass University crew is going to be there. But we're going to be filming some cool stuff.
You're in trouble then. Rick's going to be there.
Yes, I know. He put the beat down on me. But we are going to be doing live from the Open on Tuesday night. Next Tuesday? Is it that fast?
Yeah, man.
My gosh.
You're leaving this week. Don't forget to leave.
It's happening so fast. You might
Don't forget to hitch the boat up on Saturday and drive south.
Good Lord. I know I got baseball games. I hope I remember. The shout out to new subscribers from YouTube.
Yeah, we got a name. Hold on. Richard, jump in there. Richard,
the YouTube subscriber of the night that is now a Bass University TV subscriber is a Mr.
Elgin
Thuka, Maine. Congratulations, Thuka, Maine.
Hey,
you are now a part of the Bass University, and we're happy to have you, buddy. It's
Thank you.
It's a great place to be. Like, 800 videos, all with one goal in mind, to help you catch more big bass. It is the deal.
Absolutely. Welcome. And Alex Nair. Thank you, Alex, man. Appreciate you. I don't think we're going to see you at the Classic. Let me know. But we would love to see you down there, and give me a shout. Facebook, like, and share. This is your last chance.
Justin, read the list.
The like and share?
I need information from you.
Mm-hmm.
Check the
You
conversation.
need information
Looking
from
at the list now. Do you have the trivia question, Brian?
Yes, Justin. It's in Justin's head.
Oh,
hold on.
Trivia questions coming up.
It's in Justin's head.
It's in my head.
Well, the answer is text it to Rich.
Yeah.
You got that answer right. The two.
Where's the question?
The two Fritz-side colors that John Cox had
Yeah.
offered Keith.
Yeah, I got
All right, so guys, the trivia
Rich
question for the grand prize tonight is: what were the two Berkeley Fritz-side colors that John Cox loaned to Keith Carson to help him win the Open? What were the two Berkeley Fritz-side colors that John Cox loaned to Keith Carson to help him win the Bassmaster Open on Lay Lake?
I heard him say them both, and I would have never. They're such cool names that Berkeley came up with for these crankbaits.
Yeah, and I meant to bust Keith's chops because I procrastinated my order this year, trying to get some Fritz sides, and he put them out of stock, and they've been out of stock ever since his win.
We got a winner.
Oh,
Coach!
Wow,
did not take very long. Tom S.
Wait a minute, Tom S.
Tom S. with Morning Dawn and Lone Ranger. That Lone Ranger, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that color, but it sounds awesome.
It's Ghost Morning Dawn and Lone Ranger. And the Ghost Morning Dawn is the fish catchingest son of a gun. That's what Keith won on. Lone Ranger is what John won on in that really muddy water at Sam Rayburn last year. It's like a blackened chartreuse, except the chartreuse is a little faded. It's not as shocking. It's not bright. So it's a pale chartreuse.
Really?
It's not yellow. It's not like school bus yellow. It's like a pale chartreuse, if you're following me here.
Which, the Lone Ranger?
And then on the back, it's like this. It's not all black. It's only black for like half the bait, and then the rest is like a berry silver. So, I don't know what they're doing with it, but with that, they have a black and chartreuse one, but man, that one catches them. It does. Another sneaky color for you guys to get is spray tan. That's a good color for the next time it gets cold.
I got a good idea, Jake. New Bass
Might as well be
Live
called
rule.
Jersey Shore.
Whenever we're going to give away sneaky tips like this on baits that are impossible to get, we share that information with each other the week before the show that we're going to release that.
Wow.
Or at least an hour. Dude, what was it the other night, Pete, on when we had Menendez on Ike Live that he said, and I saw you go right into your phone and dig up Tackle Warehouse.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that again.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you.
I tried to block that out so hard.
Dude, I've been on Team Fritz side before Cox won, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I wasn't holding out on you.
I'm a believer. That thing got me out of,
I've got 6 of every color
a couple times
for a
this
reason.
year.
Really? Dang.
I've got 6 hooks on my one Fritz side that I managed to get. It's hard to get, right? They don't exist.
You got all the OG Slims from DQ, and you don't have any Fritz sides. I have a crap ton of Fritz sides and no OG Slims.
Well,
so we can trade. We can trade.
All right. Fair enough.
I like that Fritz side though.
Next week we have Randall Tharp. Is he coming on?
I don't know. You're talking about going live from the Open. We got to work this out.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
well, let's talk. We're definitely going to be live next Tuesday. I'm definitely going to be live from the Open. Let's me and BTC will work out the guests, but we definitely want to have that topic.
And Rich is going to be somewhere too, right?
He's going to be down at Kerr Reservoir, fishing a major derb down there. What's the derby you're fishing? Is it the Federation Divisional?
3-day state team qualifier.
State team qualifier.
Bugs Island. So.
Yeah, we ain't getting anything from Rich on that Tuesday.
We might get. I'm
already working something out. I'm headed to the Verizon store tomorrow to pick up what's called an Air card. Whoa. Apparently, they are the strongest Wi-Fi booster or Wi-Fi hotspot that you can have to use. So I'm picking that up for work purposes as well. So I'm planning to be able to be live from the Nation tournament as well.
That could be interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing how your practice is going down there, and I'll let you know how mine is going, and we will be live from the Open. So and we're also going to be filming it, GoPro style, and we're going to be documenting how things are going down there at the Open.
I'll be building a deck in Longport and probably some other
well, and I'll be while I'm away, I'm optimistic I might have an estimate by the time I get home from that tournament. You never know. It might be another one.
That ship sailed, man. I get on it, Pete.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Drowning right now.
All right, good. Rich, give us a like and share winner.
Yes, tonight's like and share winner for the Bash University Live is Sean Pang. Congratulations, Sean Pang from Beaver Creek, Ohio. Congratulations, Mr. Sean. You won yourself the Bash University like and share, $50 worth of big bass catching baits.
Yo, Pete, does anybody remember Pete quoted Snoop Dogg the other night on Night Live?
No.
That actually happened.
I'd like to.
Why did it not get cut?
Those that heard it will never forget.
I gotta listen back. Where did that even come from, Pete? How do you know that? I'm not supposed to know that.
I know that stuff. I surprise everybody.
Indeed.
And I was surprised by John Cox coming on tonight.
Yeah.
And I want to thank him.
Yeah.
Very much. I want to thank Keith Carson.
Yeah.
And Landon Tucker. I want to thank our guests. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Best of luck in your derbies this week. And
Pete, you're a sleeper, man. You're like that wood paneled station wagon with a 5.50 underneath the hood. You know what I mean?
That's right.
People don't see you coming.
You don't. You got to watch out for me.
That's all I got.
Sneaky Pete.
Sneaky Pete. Thanks, Pete.
Hey, thank you guys. JK, Riz, BTC, thank you so much. And we will see everybody back here next week, Tuesday night.
Yep. We're going to roll out to the Empire Covers Aquaview commercial. And that's it for us. Yes, Peter. Talk to you this week. Let you know, guys, what we're doing next week.
All right. Good night, everybody.
The Aquaview Micro Revolution is the only camera you need. When I want to check a spot fast, I can drop the optics and see what's down there, even in deep water, in seconds. And when I'm done, reel up and start fishing. As simple as your favorite fishing reel, but clear and convenient as your smartphone.
The most advanced yet convenient cameras available, the Aquaview Micro Revolution and Micro Revolution Pro set the new standard in mobile underwater viewing. The thinnest, brightest, most colorful screen, progressive on-screen data and recording technology, and a true revolution in underwater viewing efficiency. The #1 name in underwater cameras, Aquaview helps you discover what's really swimming beneath the surface.